Every year, more than 200 million containers are moved across the world's oceans, carrying over $7 trillion worth of goods. But oftentimes, these cargo ships are unable to make it. From external factors such as bad weather to human error, such as improper loading or structural fails, there are many reasons cargo ships are lost. Here are some of the most expensive container losses in shipping history. The MSC Napoli. In 2007, the MSC Napoli, a UK-flagged container ship traveling from Belgium to Portugal, passing through the historic English Channel, the ship encountered rough weather leading to a structural collapse of the ship's torso. The high waves and strong winds also prevented the wounded ship from being safely towed to the nearest harbor. So the ship had to be set down in the English waters. Unfortunately, the ship's hull was broken. As a result, 2,400 containers were lost or damaged, with some containers releasing oil and toxic materials into the water, immediately triggering a major salvage operation. The ensuing cleanup cost the British government a staggering £120 million, making the MSC Napoli one of the biggest container losses in maritime history. MV MOL Comfort. The MV MOL Comfort was a container ship operated by Mitsui OSK Lines, a Japanese shipping company. In the summer of 2013, the vessel left the shores of Singapore for Jeddah, traversing through the warm waters of the Indian Ocean. On June 17, 2013, bad monsoon weather led to a crack in the hull, breaking the vessel into two sections. While the crew was safely evacuated using lifeboats, the vessel eventually sank. Later reports revealed the ship suffered from a structural flaw in its midship area, known as the shear fracture. With two halves of the Comfort still drifting in the ocean, a salvage company called Smith International was contacted to rescue the broken vessel. Unfortunately, both halves of the ship eventually sank, resulting in the loss of 4,293 containers. Often described as one of the worst shipping disasters in maritime history, which spawned $400 million in claims against insurance companies. In fact, by 2014, 100 companies had filed lawsuits against the builders of the ship, claiming that the accident was caused by a design flaw that could have been avoided. MV Rena. In October 2011, the MV Rena, traveling at a high speed of 17 knots, ran aground well before it was her time. The ship, which was carrying 1,368 containers and 1,733 tons of heavy fuel oil, hit the Astrolabe Reef off the coast of New Zealand. Stuck fast on the reef for months when the aft section moved off the reef and sank to the seabed. 4 months later, the stern section slipped off of the reef and sank. A total of 900 containers were lost to the sea, and 350 metric tons of oil spilled, resulting in one of the worst environmental disasters ever seen in the shipping world. Thousands of seabirds and marine species were killed, prompting a major salvage operation that lasted for years. And even though the cleanup was able to remove a big chunk of the debris from the shipwreck, large parts of the Rena still lie on the ocean floor. Both the ship's captain and navigation officer were later charged with negligence, found guilty and fined for causing what is probably the biggest shipwreck in maritime history. The MV Svendborg Maersk. In 2014, another major container accident in the Bay of Biscay shook the shipping world. A container ship operated by Maersk Line ran into extreme weather while voyaging from Rotterdam, Netherlands to Colombo, Sri Lanka, facing heavy storms and huge waves reaching up to 30 meters in height. As a result, around 517 containers were washed overboard. The lost containers carried various types of cargo, including a large number of electronics, clothing, and machinery. Following the incident, the shipping company launched an investigation to determine the cause of the accident. It was found that a lack of proper container security and stowage practices had majorly compromised on the vessel's stability. Shedding light on the importance of better safety measures and vessel design to mitigate risks, the incident serves as a bitter reminder of the rough and unpredictable nature of the sea. MV APL China. The MV APL China was a container ship operated by a Singaporean-based shipping company. Built in 1995, the vessel had a capacity of about 2,700 TEUs, making it one of the biggest container ships at the time. But you see, no matter how big or sturdy a ship is, traveling across the Pacific Ocean is always risky. And the fall of 1998 was no different, with the mighty Typhoon Babs working its way around the Pacific and destroying everything in its path. About 2,700 miles off the coast of California, the typhoon hit 4 ships in the northern Pacific. Sailing from Taiwan to Seattle on October 26, 1998, the APL China was hit the hardest, experiencing a large angle of healing from the rolling, as a result of which billions worth of cargo was lost as more than 400 containers were tipped underwater. And there you have it, some of the biggest container losses in shipping history. Stormy winds destroying billions worth of cargo, and human errors damaging entire ecosystems. Remember, more than 7,000 container ships travel around the open seas, moving all kinds of cargo from one continent to another. From cars and computers to clothes, medicines, and food, the container industry is pretty much the backbone of the global economy. In this video, we've tried to spotlight the importance of taking adequate safety measures and running all the right background checks before setting sail on the open seas. From proper maintenance, inspection, and stowage procedures to ensuring the structural integrity of these vessels, the silver lining is that these shipping disasters have pushed companies and governments to be more careful about ship design and construction, while enhancing safety protocols and regulations to prevent more accidents in the future. If you liked our video, remember to hit like and subscribe so you never miss out.